Okay, we've progressed through all the movies so far. Let's review what we have covered this week. Okay, we have learned how to identify the different, the four of the major windows in Director, and those are the cast window. Okay, there's the score, there's the stage, and there's the property inspector. The the cast window. Hold on just a minute. Let me move this out of the way. The cast window is a repository for different media elements, effects, and scripts in the movie, which are called cast members. Let's close that. The score is a. Let's move this out of the way. The score is a timeline showing which cast members appear on the stage and in what position at any given time. The stage is the portion of the screen where cast members appear to the end user and where the action of the movie takes place. And the property inspector gives detailed information about the properties of a selected object. We've learned about the different kinds of cast members that we have in Director. We have bitmap, vector shape. We have simple shape cast members. We have field cast members. We have text cast members. We have button cast members. We have transition cast members. We have sound cast members. We have digital video cast members. We have flash cast members. And we have behavior cast members. There are, believe it or not, other cast member types, but those are the ones that we covered so far, and they're the major ones. Okay, we have also talked a little bit about appropriate and inappropriate uses of Director. Appropriate uses for Director are animations, arcade-style games, educational applications, and basically any small application where performance is not at a premium, but the speed and ease of programming and maybe even the multimedia flash is important. Okay. Now, inappropriate uses of Director might include complex 3D games, major applications where performance is important, or which are extraordinarily feature-rich, such as Photoshop, 3D Studio Max, Maya, or Microsoft Word. We talked about the different ways that you can deliver Director applications, and that is as shockwave files or as projectors. We've talked about the difference between a cast member and a sprite. And a cast member is like a template from which the sprites are made. You can have numerous sprites appear on the stage, all of them referring to the same cast member. If you edit a cast member, all the sprites derived from that cast member are updated. Conversely, if you make any changes to a particular sprite, these changes are generally not made to the cast member. Okay. We've learned about the effects channels in our score, and we've learned how to access them using the Hide Show Effects channel button if they are hidden. Among the effects channel are the tempo channel, which holds information about how long Director should pause on each frame in the score. We've learned about the palette channel, which holds palettes, which are used to determine the range of colors used for graphics in a particular frame. We've learned a little bit about the transition channel, which holds information on how changes between the preceding frame and the current frame are dealt with. For instance, whether a dissolve is used or a wipe. We've learned about the sound channels. This is where sprites derived from sound cast members go, and it's basically the soundtrack of our movie. We've learned about the frame script or behavior channel, which holds scripts that tell Director what to do on entering or leaving a particular frame. For instance, on leaving a particular frame, go back to that frame. In essence, loop or hold on that frame. That is an example of a frame script behavior, something that we would put in the frame script channel. We've also learned that the name of the other channel is the standard sprite channels, and that most of our cast members will go in these standard channels. They hold sprites derived from cast members, determining when various media elements appear on the stage. For instance, by dragging a bitmap cast member into sprite channel 1 at frame 1, we create a sprite or instance of that particular cast member. When the movie starts, that image is displayed on the stage. We identified what a frame is in the score and described what it signifies. A frame is a unit of time during which the sprites in the channels of that frame are displayed. Frames are numbered along the x-axis in the score. We've learned how to play, stop, and rewind our movie by using these controls up here. We learned how to cause the score to pause on a particular frame by dragging a behavior into the behavior channel, a particular behavior called the hold on current frame behavior. We have learned how to cause the playback head to jump to a particular frame when a sprite on the stage is clicked. And that can be a button, or it can be, we also tried it out on a simple shape, but it can be really any sprite on the stage. When we drag the go to frame X behavior from the navigation section of the library palette onto the sprite in the score, which represents the graphic or whatever cast member that will respond to the mouse click. So basically we drag the go to frame X behavior onto a sprite, and that causes it to go to that sprite when we click on it. We've added transitions between frames by dragging or by double-clicking on a cell in the transition channel. We have found out how to determine what behaviors are attached to a sprite. We can click on the sprite and click on the behavior inspector. That shows us all the behaviors that are attached to a particular sprite. I didn't tell you how to remove behaviors from a sprite, but I'll do that right now. If you select the sprite, and then you click here and you say clear all behaviors, you click on the behavior pop-up and you say clear all behaviors, that will remove a behavior from the sprite. Now when we look at the behavior inspector, we no longer see that behavior in our behavior inspector. It's no longer attached. Okay. We figured out how to determine what cast member is associated with a particular sprite in the score. When we click on it, we look in the upper left-hand corner at a preview thumbnail. That tells us what cast member is used for this particular sprite. Let's see. We've learned how to make a cast member appear on the stage by dragging it from our cast window onto the stage or into our score. We've learned how to make a text cast member by selecting Window, Text, and then entering in the text. We have learned how to delete a sprite from the score by selecting it in the score and pressing Delete. We've learned how to make the library palette appear by clicking Window, Library Palette. We've learned how to navigate to different sections in the library palette. There are different categories, and if we click on the library list button, we can move to the different categories in the library palette. We've learned how to position a sprite on the stage, and we do that by selecting that sprite and just dragging it. Not very complicated. We've learned how to name a cast member by selecting it and entering the name at the top in the cast member name field of our cast window. We've learned how to switch between different cast view styles by clicking on the cast view style button. We've learned how to access the edit, play, or preview windows for particular cast members. If we wanted to see this bitmap cast member, we just double-click on its entry in the score, and that brings up the paint window, and we can see that cast member. Similarly, if we double-click on our field, then that brings up an edit window for our field cast member. So we've learned how to do that. We've learned how to save an editable director file by clicking File, Save. Additionally, we've learned how to save a compacted version of that by clicking File, Save, and Compact. We've learned how to open files in Director by selecting Open. And I think that pretty much covers everything that we went through in our videos. I know that was at a lightning speed, but it was just a review. Hopefully some of it sunk in.